get her in. Oh, come on.
Hi.
All right, cool. We're live. Hey.
I think I clicked on the wrong link.
I
try to just bookmark what link it is because there are several. The Google Calendar one doesn't work for me. So
okay.
I just need to find the right link.
So each we're live right now, so I'll walk you through it after if that's okay. Okay, so welcome to another Run Wild with Us, Ask Us Anything. I'm Lisa Kastner. I'm the founder and executive editor of Running Wild, which now consists of 5 imprints, and I'm here with the phenomenal Ben White and the fantastic Cecilia Kennedy, and I believe we will be joined shortly by Peter Wright, who is trying to get in. I want to say, hey, so Ben and Cecilia, what have you guys been up to since our last chat?
Well, I finished my homework. I handed in my my manuscript to Running Wild Press, so I just sent it in, and yeah, it's all good. It's uploaded, so no technical issues there, and yeah, we'll see.
Very nice.
Congratulations. That's fantastic.
Yeah. It's nice to have something finished and to actually hand it off. So I could just like check the box.
It's this. Take it.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
How about you, Ben? What are you up to?
Let's see. This recently, I think it was the 3rd of June, but the short story anthology number 8 has been released, and so it's out there.
Yes.
And
yes,
number 9 is not too far behind, and then so that means number 10 is way behind because I haven't started selecting stories yet. But that's next.
Oh my.
That's close. And then we got the poetry anthology. Most of the poems have been selected. I gotta start shooting out notifications to the authors and letting them know. But that's progressing along as well. And then just this past week, let's see. Can you see that? Unbreaking the Circle: Stories of Service.
Yes.
That's a Southwest Writers anthology of military writers. I have 11 poems in there.
Wow.
And headed to a reading next Saturday here in Corrales, New Mexico, which is a small community but has its own library. So that's kind of cool. Did you pull it up? Did you see it? Did you find it?
No, very cool.
You're getting Peter squared away.
I'm trying to get Peter squared away. I don't know. All right. I don't know. Whatever. So, no, what I shared actually was, and I was wrong. It was Cecilia who, you were the one who texted me. Peter usually is the one who texts me and says, I can't get in. I don't know what I'm doing. So I had to send him, and it doesn't matter. It's just insanity. So, no, what I shared actually was, somehow now Ben keeps turning into Peter. That's fascinating. I don't know. Because I'm not doing anything to make that happen. That shouldn't be physically possible. Okay. I don't know. What I shared was a link to the YouTube channel that has all the interviews with the short story authors from the short story anthology, volume 8. So I thought it would be cool for folks to check that out if they wanted to.
Yes. So. And thanks to one of the authors for putting that together.
Yeah, Gary Zenker. He did a great job of gathering everybody and bringing them in. Hey, Peter, can you? I think it's because Peter's using the link, Ben, that you provided him, which is only supposed to be for you. And Peter,
okay.
I gave him a link to oh God, I need him to use the link I gave him so that he can get in without and I just resent it to him. So yeah. Oh
There
well,
he is.
we'll see what happens. There he is. Okay.
There we go.
Cool. All right. Fabulous. And now we just need to somehow get Ben to come back. There he is, sort of, almost, kind of.
He's blinking in and
Yeah.
out.
He is blinking in and out. Yeah. I'm not sure why, but yep, he's blinking in and out. So
It's because Peter tried to be me. Come back.
Oh, my foot's
This
on
is
my foot's on the
hilarious.
cord. Sorry.
Hey, whatever works, you know? So, well, yesterday we did another Storytellers Happy Hour with Teehee, so that was a lot of fun, as always. And I'm currently working on 2 memoirs, my own, revising my own book, a novella anthology that is 33 novellas, and I'm working on the stories on, well, accepting stories for our charity short story anthology to benefit those who are impacted by the wildfires. And I am negotiating and talking to all the authors, the fabulous authors we already sent offers to from our last acquisition session. So it's been really busy, and I'm just pretty much, I mean, I, like all of us, right? I have a day job, so I work to the day job, and then as soon as I'm done my last meeting for my day job, I typically then launch into a whole nother series of meetings. So I'm hoping that tonight I'll be able to actually get some more revisions done. I have no idea why Ben is still blinking in and out.
Man, you're tripping, man.
Seriously. Ben, can you hear us?
I'll leave and come back.
You'll leave and come back in? Oh, okay. Oh, God. All right. Well, this will be interesting. So, but one thing that's really exciting that I've been working on is the memoir of a gentleman named Doug Drexler. And Doug is, it's still blinking. I don't, nope. Let's see. Well, Ben, you're still drinking. You're still blinking. I don't know why.
Well, we know Ben.
We know. Well, Ben doesn't drink, so it's not that.
Again, you've got me mixed up.
Clearly, I have you mixed up with someone else. Obviously. Oh my gosh, this makes no sense. But anyway, so well, should I wait? Did it stabilize? No. Okay, I don't understand. Well, anyway, the gentleman, so Doug Drexler is best known for his makeup and special effects for Star Trek. And for several other like huge films. So it's a lot of fun, and honestly, he's actually a really great guy. He is so fun to work with. So I'm trying to get that knocked out, you know, and you know, it's hilarious because coming up, him and his buddies, I mean, they were kids like in their early 20s or whatever. And they just played all kinds of practical jokes on all different people. And so, he basically outs everybody on all the, I guess you could say, naughtiness that they performed. But thankfully, everyone thought it was funny. So he didn't necessarily get into a whole lot of trouble for it. So that's great. But yeah, it's super fun. I think it's going to be a real blast just getting it out to people. So Peter, what are you up to other than trying desperately to get in to the live stream? Should I kick
Actually,
that out again? Because this is
pretty
weird.
painless. I don't know. I mean, I must have messed up Ben's connection somehow, and But I've just finished up Curtis's novel, Stepsisters. It's powerful.
Oh, wow.
It packs as mean a punch as Magic Prize Returned did. It's a really good, it's really solid writing. Looking forward to moving forward with that. I'm about to start in on his short story collection. So he wants them both to come out about the same time so he can market them at the same time and do readings at the same time. And I wholeheartedly agree with that. That's perfect. I've got the author from Brooke finally got me her latest version, her latest draft. Really excited to see what she did with this. She made some pretty big changes. She wants to wanted to rename the main character, which I find interesting. So the main character is such a strong personality, such a strong character in the book. Curious to see how it's going to play out. But of course, I'm open as to what to see what she's done. I'm still working on the Drexel Award winner because that book has got a lot of potential. We had a conversation last week about that, about the progress of that. We reached a good understanding about how we're going to approach the novel, and my own writing is moving forward. So things are moving. Things are good. Just really, really busy. Really bogged down.
Yeah, you've been owing us something for a long time.
I know.
I'm just saying.
Perfect. So it just takes time.
But there's no such thing as perfect.
That's what I tell my authors. Different things happen inside my head. We all know the drill.
We all know the drill.
I finally made a decision that we'll stick and we'll drive the plot forward. And I've got a point of view. Okay. I've got a narrator. And the characters have always been there. They're kind of just hanging out, waiting for me to figure out what the hell was wrong with me with my story writing. And now I've got to figure it out. So, Blitzkrieg time.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
I think. Ben, can you actually hear us?
I can hear you and see you fine.
Okay.
And I'm not even blinking on my end.
Huh.
Is it distracting?
Right? I'm getting nauseous, but I'll be all right.
It's distracting because it's more like, can you hear us? Can you?
Oh yeah.
I feel like someone's doing Morse code with your signal. And we should know what it means.
Ben's telling us something.
No, it's connected. I see and hear everybody fine.
Oh my God.
You're like a very slow like a very slow strobe light, Ben.
Yeah.
Like a turn signal.
Although it's not
I never use
like a turn signal. Now you have to do silly signs or something that are timed with the strobe.
There you go.
Yeah. If I need to leave,
oh my God!
It was a distraction. We need to hear from somebody else out in the real world. What's happening to them? Is anybody out there? Can you see me? Do I
Okay.
exist?
Now we can. Now we
Yeah.
can. Now
Yeah.
we can. There he is. No, he's not. There he is. No, he's not.
I came back in. Yeah.
There he is. There he's not.
That doesn't make any sense.
I promise I didn't do anything. At least not this time.
Me neither.
Oh my. All right, I'm gonna kick Ben out and then see. All right, now what if that is
It's blinking over there.
it's still blinking over there. That's now he's out. Oh, he must have
There
kicked
he's out.
himself
Blinking, I
out.
don't see
Okay, all right.
him
Well, let's-
blinking at all.
now he's not doing anything. Yeah, that's true. I think he took himself out, so he'll come back.
No.
Ah,
It's
no.
like when you think the hiccups are over, but they're not.
Oh, I hate that. That's the worst.
I know.
Oh my gosh. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that is not a happy place. Oh boy. Well, well, okay, now he's showing his back on. Like it's green,
Yeah.
but he's not there. So, this is fascinating. Like, if anyone actually comes back and watches this video, they'll see all three of us like,
Wonderful.
What are they watching out of the corner of their screen?
right, exactly. Like, what is that? Oh. Oh. I
This
have
is
no
not
idea
blinking.
why. So seriously, before this, well, yeah, that's true. Now he must have walked away. Nope, now he's back. Okay, that's interesting.
What do you see? I see a blank
Before the-
box.
When you go to the left of his name, I see a little dot, and the dot is blinking green, and then yellow, and then green.
Do you see his
And
name,
then-
Cecilia?
It's green now.
Yeah, I can see the name, and there's a
Oh, maybe
little.
it's by
It says
He
backstage
is
on the far left.
backstage. He can hear and see us.
All right, let me try this.
He's backstage.
All right. Oh wait, now nope, he's blinking again. All right, hold on. What if I send him a new link? All right, hold on. Okay, Ben, I'm sending you a new link.
I heard a ping.
It's so my iPhone is synced to my Mac laptop, and so when I get texts, it comes across my laptop. But right before this, I have a mentee through the Horror Writers Association, and I was also meeting with one of our authors that we that we made an offer to. And it was worse than my cat. It was like, I think I got like 10 phone calls in the course of like 5 minutes. And I have no idea why. Okay, he's blinking.
Still blinking in and out.
All right. So you know what okay, so why don't I think I'm going to remove him from the event, but then I'm going to add him back in, and because that should generate a new Ben White Musicians editor. Founder. Oh, well, that would be good if I actually put that in the right place. Okay, hold on. All right, let him know I'm going to send him a completely new link because that was just a repeat of the one that I sent him before. Okay, then no, of course it's not. Okay, let's see. And by the way, this has been my I've had these kind of weird glitchy technology issues for like the last couple of weeks, and it's those where it's just like I have no idea what's going on. He was just denied access. Okay.
He got access denied, then invalid link.
Tell him to. He should get. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me do this. Copy.
I think he's a redheaded stepchild. Sorry, Ben.
All right. I just sent another one. He can try
I
that
see
one.
him backstage and he's not blinking.
It's a miracle. Okay, hold on. Now I just need to get my mouse to actually be in the right screen. And now I can.
There he is.
You don't want to know where I've been.
I know. We want to know everything now. Where'd you go? What did you
What's it
see?
like on
Yeah,
the
where
other
did
side?
you go?
And a guy with a big hat
What
and a white rabbit.
You got to see a white rabbit? That's awesome.
And this brand new girl they kept calling Alice. But the weird part is I'm signed in under June 20th at 5 p.m.
June 20th at
Yeah,
5
I don't
p.m.
know.
Yeah, so I'm 24 hours ahead of you.
Yeah, that's even weirder.
Wow.
Okay.
What is the future like?
Yeah. I don't mean to scare you, but
Yeah,
What's the future hold?
don't leave the house, Peter.
Okay.
don't leave the house, Peter. He's in Florida. I'm the one in LA.
Yeah, what you're facing, I've got no advice for. Sorry.
Well, at least it was like every half hour, either there were police sirens or helicopters so low, like you couldn't hear what was going on in front of you. So at least that's now maybe every couple of hours. So it's getting better. Sure, that's it.
Right. Yeah, I got a question.
So, and do it.
Did anybody else get busted from the AWP?
What?
I got busted. I got an email from the AWP saying I'm registered for 8 different panels and I can only attend 3. So I have to drop 5.
Yeah.
You got those? Okay.
Me too.
Okay.
I didn't get anything like that.
Yeah.
I just put everybody on panels. I'm sorry.
No. Well, and what's
I got
wild
busted,
is
so.
it's like they're like, I responded and I also said if any of the panels that I'm picking as my firsts get declined, can you just put me back on one of the other ones? So I'm not sure. I'm sure there was a logic to how they elected to manage submissions, but it's a little odd.
I thought it was a good thing because that means all the panels are being considered. So we've got a real shot here. So they want to limit our exposure, kind of thing. They don't want to saturate the audience with us.
Okay. Just as a FYI, how like every conference or convention I've ever been on panels for, you submit the panels, and then they accept however many they want, and then they'll let you know then, hey, you know you're on so many panels, you know you've got to pick one to be taken off of.
Right.
Because typically it's not this way. They're doing it in the reverse, which I think they're actually causing everybody a lot more work than they realize, with the intent of it being the reverse. But yeah, usually you submit, they decide which ones they're going to use, and then they ask you to confirm who's going to be on the panels, because a lot of times people who think they're going to make it can't make it, and then they'll let you know, like, hey, you're only allowed to be on, like, 4 panels, so
Right.
you're going to have to ditch something. Yeah. So yeah, I was just like, okay, sure. I'll pick the ones that I'm not, the ones that are interesting to me, that I think you're going to get more people attending,
Mm-hmm.
So how about you? What ones did you pick?
I haven't picked any yet. I just want to discuss this with the team here, see what's going on, saying, do we stage a protest, or do we just say, okay, fine, do we roll over and just follow the man? I don't know. I wanted to see what the consensus was. So I'll drop 5.
I basically did a in between. I did what I did what they asked, and then I also said, and by the way, if any of them aren't chosen, can you please just add me back to one of the ones that was? So
right, that makes sense.
Yeah. And maybe they'll sit there and go,
I didn't
oh,
see
wait
the
a
message.
minute. Hey, I never thought of it that way. You didn't get a message?
No. I just got
it came from.
Yeah. I just got I got the emails that said I'd been that Cecilia had put me on like 14 panels or something like that.
Yeah, 500. I thought that was a good number.
I got an email from Audrey. Audrey Campila is who I got the email from.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, me too. I heard from Audrey. Yeah. So clearly, Peter, you and I have far too much exposure, and everyone else is fine.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I'm a day ahead, so I probably took care of it already.
Well, what did you see while you were away? Did you clear the way?
That was the first thing I did. I just took care of those emails from Audrey. And so I'm good to go. I just got back from that meeting.
Clearly.
24 hours ahead. There's got to be a story in there, Cecilia.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You had what, 19 panels
wormhole.
Yeah.
As he should. Dang damn it.
Business Insider headline, right? Like, I signed up people to 500 panels, and this is what happened. You could read that headline.
Now that would be, you could submit that to like Writer's Digest or something, and Publishers Weekly, see what they come back with.
Or you could come at it from the other direction: discrimination against authors and editors by AWP. Look at what they're trying to do: limiting their access, limiting their ability to speak.
Yeah. How dare you? How dare
it's freedom of
you?
speech.
I'm like, I don't care. I'll just go hang out more. Well, I'm now getting ready for the American Library Association's conference in Philadelphia that starts on Friday of this
Oh, cool.
upcoming week. So we'll be at the IBPA tables, and I'll be walking the floors. Walking the floors and giving out like postcards and stuff about some of our upcoming titles. So it should be a lot of fun. And we're also, because we have two authors who are relatively, that doesn't make any sense. Sorry, I'm just trying to get to the page for the conference, and it came up with a whole bunch of gobbledygook. So anyway, two of our authors are local, so I arranged for them to do book signings and book giveaways at ALA. Which, as soon as I can get my mouse to actually respond and like let me. Okay, this is weird. Okay, here's the link to ALA that hopefully goes through if I'm lucky. And again, we'll be at the IBPA table, and then the novel Introducing the Scarlet Scrapper by Lenny Appa. So he's going to be giving away books for that, and which I'll be happy to provide a link to as soon as my computer responds. This is so weird. And then hopefully this works. Okay. And then Vincent's I believe his last name's pronounced Sis, is going to be signing his short story collection as well. So that'll be a lot of fun. It'll be great to meet these guys in person. If I can ever find Vincent's page. Oh my. But yeah, so it'll be fun to be back in Philly and seeing everybody. Oh, Old Man Evil and Other Stories. That's it. How about you guys? Are you going to be anywhere fun in the next couple weeks or months?
I just have that reading in Corrales. The aforementioned before I started blinking out. You remember? Peter wasn't here yet.
Before you were
I lost my book.
parachuted into the future?
Yes. Next Saturday, Peter, I want you in Corrales, New Mexico.
Okay.
There's a group of us reading from that anthology.
I'll get the bike ready. I'll be there.
Okay. Nice.
I've been in Mexico again on my bike. So
Very cool. Are you going to read all 11?
Now we have 10 minutes apiece. So I'll offer it up to the audience to give me a number from 1 to 11, and I'll probably get 3 of them read. But it'll be audience choice. The first number I hear.
Got it.
They're relatively short, but all my lead-ins are long and story driven.
Oh, I see. Your explanation.
Yeah. My introductions are probably better than the poems themselves. So there I was. Yeah.
Dun dun dun. I give you credit for doing that because I bore myself when I read my own work. So I'm not. I don't like doing readings.
Yeah, it's the teacher in me. I don't mind the podium. I live for the podium. Let's be real.
There you go.
Yeah.
How about you, Peter? What do you have going on?
My schedule's pretty quiet for the next couple weeks, so just home dogging it.
Cool. And how about you,
Everybody
Cecilia?
laughed, though.
Anything?
No, I'm not going anywhere, but I'm doing some contract work for Super 7. They're a pop culture collectible company. So they do like G.I. Joe's, Thundercats, all the action figures and things like that people will collect. So I'm doing some work writing marketing, advertising for them for San Diego Comic-Con. So that work will be over soon, but I won't go to San Diego Comic-Con, but I get to write for it a little bit for, the products that will be, I guess, available during it in some way or form during that, whether I don't know that they're going to have, I don't know what they're going to have there during the convention, but they're always like products that are released in conjunction with it. So I can't say what they are, but I'm working on them. So writing the descriptions and the social media posts and all those kinds of things. So that's fun. But no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm probably going to make it to my kitchen to mix some cocktails here and there. And that's about it. Not going anywhere. Unless, I make it through the wormhole because that would be fun wherever Ben went. I'm hoping if I make enough in the kitchen, I might, just somehow go somewhere to the future. It could happen.
It could happen. It could
I'll just put out
happen.
a link, any link maybe, to for a Running Wild Press. I don't know, meeting of some sort. Any of them, I think, might take me there. I could just try it.
Or actually, so ask Ben or Peter to send you their link, and then it'll just whack out whoever's. Or no, send your link to Peter or Ben, and then it'll whack out yours. So then you by default can hit the wormhole.
I won't know what to do. I won't know what to do. Let's see to see. Do you have what do you have suggestions of best things to do or places to visit while you're blinking in and out
when you're in the wormhole?
On a motorcycle.
Oh, okay.
Somewhere.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, so it was merging into someone else.
Oh my. Yes. Well, you were getting there, and then I kicked you out and stopped
right.
the
right in the middle of the bike ride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
That's how it happens. I mean, that's just.
Yeah. Just glad I was wearing a helmet.
Oh my. Too bad. Yeah, too bad. See, you stopped your own progression. How dare you? It could have been so much.
So I had an interesting conversation with Curtis today about his book, about regional colloquialisms. Okay, so we're from different. I don't know, where are you from, Cecilia?
Yeah,
I'm from Ohio.
Ohio. Okay, so Midwest.
Yes.
Ben's from the desert. Lisa's from Los Angeles. Okay. What comes to mind when I say a aluminum panel double? This is a domicile, a home, a residence. Aluminum sided double.
Aluminum.
Like a double wide.
I have no idea what that is.
Double wide, okay, Ben? Anything?
Yeah, that was about double wide. That's what I said.
Right. Lisa?
Okay.
When Cecilia said it, I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess that is what it is."
Okay, Cecilia too. Okay.
It's a double wide.
Double is a duplex.
Oh.
It's a house that shares a wall, two adjoining residences that share a wall. It could be 1-story, 2-story, or 3-story. So in Philadelphia, a double is a duplex. So he's got these are the main character is a hardcore woman trying to get back on her feet or get on her feet, and she eventually does, which is really cool. But this entire time, I'm thinking aluminum panel double, that's a double wide. So about 2/3 of the way in the book, one of the bad characters is running up the stairs of the double. And I'm like, there's no stairs in a
That's
double.
not possible.
Yeah, that's what I wasn't thinking that.
I'm going back and forth. I'm like, what's a double? I mean, it's a double. It's a trailer park. It's a double wide in a trailer park. He says, no, it's a double. I'm like, it's like, what's a double? So he sends me a picture. And I'm like, so it's this duplex. I'm like, oh my God, it's a duplex. He's like, yeah, the duplex. That's what they're called. I don't want to use duplex because it's too modern of a term. It's kind of an older, archaic house. So he called it a twin. So in one paragraph, he calls what?
I'm actually originally from Camden, New Jersey, which is across the road from Philly.
Okay.
And they're called duplexes. They're called twins. I've never heard it called a double, but it just may be I'm not old enough. So.
Well, he's
yeah.
any older than we are. I mean, but so he
come
finally
on.
renamed it a twin. Okay, he's probably 49, 50. We've got years to go before we get to that age. I'm good with that. Is that
Yeah,
better?
we do.
Okay.
Sure.
He fixed it. He calls it a twin in one instance, a twin in the
I'll
next.
get
He
there.
calls it a house in the third instance, so it all makes sense. It solidifies in the reader's mind, so you know exactly what's going on. But that regional colloquialism threw me off throughout the entire story because it made sense for their mother to live in a double wide, but makes it more clear to know that it's in a twin, it's in a duplex type home kind of thing. So that little sticking point, that little part, makes a big difference because it throws you off. If he hadn't put stairs in there, I wouldn't have cared because it wouldn't have occurred to me. But there are no stairs in a double wide. Yeah. So we went back and forth on that for a couple weeks now. We finally got it ironed out. He finally made the changes, and I've got a final manuscript on my hard drive right now.
Excellent.
Ready to go. Mm-hmm.
That's wild. Actually,
Nobody would have looked it up.
What's that?
Nobody would have looked it up because they had in their mind the definition. It was just the wrong definition that he was defining.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like in New Orleans, if you live in a shotgun and you don't know what a shotgun is, you can look it up and see, that's a house with one hallway from the front to the back, and the rooms are off the main hallway.
Oh, really?
So
I didn't know that.
So it's called a shotgun. Yeah.
Okay.
And then sometimes you have a double shotgun, and so that's just two front doors, but two main hallways, and sometimes it's different people, different families living in both. Which that's still not the double that he's talking about. That's still different.
Right.
But there's nothing in his definition to make me go look it up. And so that's not, because I've had this discussion before about the obscure reference. And if you make an obscure reference, is the reader curious enough to go look it up? Do they need to? Right. Is it important enough to do that to the reader? And you don't know. And that may be like an obscure reference that he needs to, and you've had the conversation, so you know he took care of it. And
that's an excellent point, because that is intrinsic to the story. It also makes a play on the two main characters of the story, or the main character and the secondary character, their sisters, stepsisters. But he does make another reference to an area called Kensington Place, which is an open air drug market where they sell, do, and deal drugs. So that he doesn't, he lays it out, but he doesn't really call attention to it other than the fact that it's Kensington Place. It's like, for me, it would be the South Side or, the West Side kind of thing. This is actually an area in Philadelphia that if you looked it up, which I did on the internet, you see exactly what he's talking about. So that reference makes sense because you can look it up. You can Google it and see what he means. But you don't just brush on by thinking you know what's going on. You go, what is this thing really? Does this thing really exist? And yes, it really does. Pictures are horrifying.
Yeah. It's like in the 80s in London, they would warn you about going into Hyde Park.
Right.
And if you're not from London and you know, why are you warning me about going into Hyde Park? It sounds so nice and so pleasant. Well, that's where the less than desirable people hung out in Hyde Park, and
Hmm.
they were looking for whatever they could get from you walking through there as a tourist.
Right.
But again, it's an obscure reference that if you don't look it up or not curious enough to look it up, you don't know, and you miss that nuance of the story.
It's true.
Like you used Kensington Park, yeah,
Right. And it's worth looking up. It doesn't
yeah,
really need to be explained beyond
Well, I mean, honestly,
the initial mention of the place. So you would look it up and go, "Oh my god, okay, now it makes sense."
yes. And that comes down to now there's a debate of whether the author needs to
right.
explain it or count on your
I mean,
curiosity to go look it up.
Right.
And that's why I call it the obscure reference, because it may be important.
well, I'm
Excuse me.
I'm more of an advocate of having some kind of reference within the context of the story that implies uh it implies what that is referencing, but without, you know, overtly saying, you know, like Kensington is like, you know, the downtrodden area of of that neighborhood or whatever, right?
Right.
But it should explain itself within the context of the story. And to me, if that's not done, then the author hasn't done their job.
Which he did. He did do his
But
job because he did give the details, but just enough to give you a little dab of a picture, so that when you looked it up, you'd come back and now it's much more rich and vibrant because of what you now know.
right, right.
So,
But to your point, Peter, like 9 times, if it's interesting enough, and I guess that's the key, right? You make it interesting enough so that the reader wants to look it up, you know,
right. Mm-hmm.
like they want to do the research to figure it out. That I guess that's really the author's job.
Exactly. And this is a book about drugs. So it's not a book about houses or doubles or anything like that. So the Kensington place makes sense in its mention with the details that he gave about it. But as far as the doubles go, that needed to be tweaked for a more expansive audience. People that don't live in, or I mean, even if you're within 20 miles or whatever of Philadelphia and you don't know the reference. So, and the rest of us are like, it's a double wide. So, which makes sense for the character. But, you know, if you could just tweak it just there. And sometimes in TV, it's just a word, just a single word, 4 letters,
Right.
5 letters to make it clear for the reader so that we know exactly where we're looking, exactly what we're looking at. And he's a master author, so he was able to do that with just a little tweak. Mm-hmm. So
No, that's phenomenal.
yeah,
A conversation once I used, it was a military poem, and it was there, and I mentioned a blouse, and I had it was being workshopped at Tampa, and I had a classmate who said, why are the infantry soldiers wearing blouses?
Hmm.
And
Oh, I know that one.
it's
It's a shirt.
a shirt. It's
I know
the
it's a shirt,
jacket
but
of the uniform. It's the blouse, and
men wear
that's what
blouses.
it's called.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
and in a
Yeah,
poem, I didn't have room
back
to
in the day.
explain that. You know, there's just no room, and so, it started that conversation again about you're using a language from an organization that doesn't fit the language of everybody's mindset,
Right.
and it goes back to Lisa's point: is that important? Do you have to explain that in a poem? You don't have room. You don't have time. You look it up. Write your own poem.
Look it up, Buttercup.
Well, you know, it's interesting. One of the calls that I had before this was with an author who we just accepted, and her book has a lot of like Middle Eastern references to it, and she uses language that is native to those specific areas. And she was greatly concerned that we were going to make her change the language to you know, English. And I honestly, I was kind of dumbfounded because I was like, did we say that in the offer? Did we infer that we want you to change what the story's about? Like, I don't remember that, you know. And she was like, no, it's not that. It's just that she had a lot of experiences where she had written things in the past, and whoever it was she was working with, they insisted that, you know, that she changed the language, right? And I said, but no, isn't that the whole point of the story? Like, this is about it's what was it? Is it single cigarettes? Is that right? Now I have to look it up. But I said, I'm like, but that was the reason why not the only reason we accepted it, but you know, that was kind of the point, right? So, and but it was funny because she kept asking me questions like that I was like, did we say we were going to do that? Because that sounds horrid. Like, why would someone do that, right? But I think that goes back to, huh?
That sounds horrid. Did you talk to Ben?
Well, I could no, which actually she did her due diligence. She called a bunch of authors we have worked with already to find out if we were legit. And I was like, that's what you should do. Absolutely, you know.
Reminds me of Juno Diaz.
It was single cigarette. Oh yeah.
Juno Diaz, Drowned, Brief Wondrous Life of Oscar Wilde. I mean, he's all over the place. With one of my former teachers, edited his work. She said he drove her nuts because some were Spanish, some were different languages, but he threw them all in there and forced her to keep up with him. And the short story collection of the book turned out wonderful because of it. I mean, nobody writes like him. So
it's gorgeous. Yeah.
I heard that from a manuscript perspective. This was a few years ago. A few years ago, I heard that you don't have to put words in italics anymore that are foreign words, words from other languages. You don't have to put it in italics anymore. You should just get over it, is kind of the attitude. So, I mean, you can if you want to, but there is a philosophy out there that you just put them in. Don't worry about italicizing them. I mean, I guess technically you could italicize them just to show people that this is a different word, but some people don't. They're just like, just put it in, you know? And I'm okay with that. I mean, as a reader, I have a high tolerance for that. Yeah. So it doesn't bother me. It doesn't throw me off.
Well, once you get used to the flow and the rhythm, I mean, the first couple times it's going to throw you off. Once you get used to the flow and the rhythm, I mean, you're gonna run with it because you know what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
It always go back to shit. If it doesn't, then you have to have some kind of flag that'll enable the reader to say, "Oh, I'm not supposed to know that."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it could go either way. It depends on the author. Some authors are like, no, I want to just leave it without the italics. And some do put it in. So I just kind of leave it open as a preference either way.
Put a little asterisk by the phrase and put a little note at the bottom. Look it up. Just look it up.
Yeah.
Once they get used to it, you don't have to have the asterisk anymore. They'll know to look it up.
I honestly, because
Yeah. And I opened up
I do use a lot of foreign language.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, I opened up the Kill Gene, my e-novel, with he was an FNG. If you don't know what FNG is, I will tell you that the NG is new guy. If you don't know what the F is for, you've never been in the Army. And that's the way it starts.
You don't know what the F is for you, then you're the NG, right?
Yeah. And so the whole book, there was a kind of a back play to write a military army story set in 1980s Germany, and there's no cuss words in it. but there's cuss words in it. There's cussing in it, but there's no cuss words in it. And which was fun to do because somebody said something that started with an F sound. We know what that word is.
Yep.
But to the acronyms, that's where I was headed. Just the acronyms alone. If you're in an organization and you're using dialogue, they're going to use acronyms and their own slang. And now as the author, you run up against: do I need to explain that, or will it just be accepted as organizational language that people can look up? Or not?
Well, then you got FUBAR and SNAFU, which started in I think exactly. I think they started in the military.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did they?
Yeah. And that F is not fouled.
No. No.
That's the one constant you can look for in a military story. The F is always the F. But that's what there were some World War II writers, Jones and a couple of others. The editors made them put in FUGGING as a replacement word, and they said this is stupid.
Yeah,
Nobody
that
said
makes it
that.
worse.
It's a replacement word that isn't a word, but it was FUGGING. And
I find it more offensive.
They hated using it. They felt so stupid writing that and having to change it to say that instead of what they actually said. But it was.
I'm going to say it at dinner tonight and see what happens.
Yeah.
I dare you, and then you've got to tell us what happened.
Yeah, report out next week.
I could just use it all the time through dinner tonight, just for fun.
You got to alternate between fugging and fugging.
Yes, I use all the versions of it, everything.
Be creative.
Past tense, present tense, all of it.
Yeah, look at the
Future.
like Mailer. I think Mailer had to use it in the Naked and the Dead. With he just said this is stupid, and then when it's directed to somebody, FUGU. So throw that in at dinner, Cecilia.
I'm honestly,
Well,
I'm ready to.
It's an FUG. It's a Bug's Life, but with the F instead of the B. We'll watch that tonight.
There you go.
It's a Bug's Life. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to see the response to No Fucks Given.
Oh.
Both the cover and the title, because typically when I present to the sales force, there's always like one or two who are really vocal and they've got an opinion on almost every single one of our books, So I want to see if we get a
Yeah, and then it'll fly off the shelf.
Recording something about it. Have you heard from him?
No, he hasn't responded. I don't see anything yet.
Because he won't back down.
So you guys know. Well, that we picked No Fucks Given as one of the ones that we were going to feature in the next sales conference. So I sent a note to everybody whose pieces were picked to be featured in the next sales conference that said, "Hey, I need a recording of you like giving some kind of backstory, some kind of, something to really kind of get people enticed about it." Right. And I pointed out his name, his name's Tim. I won't go any further than that, we're publishing it under a pseudonym, but it's intentional, right? It's Nobody Fucking Important is the name we're publishing it under, because it reinforces the meaning, I guess you could say, right?
Yeah.
And perspective of the work. And I said, look, if you're not comfortable doing a video, it's okay, but can you just give us something, right? Like it could be, not screenshots, like video shots or something of his time in the military, to kind of give people a perspective, to reinforce that perspective, because it really could be quite powerful.
Mm-hmm.
And I just let him know, if you want to talk about it or whatever, just set up some time with me, and we can figure it out together. But I haven't heard back from him yet, which probably means he's probably sitting down coming up with a maniacal plan.
Yes, I can guarantee you he is.
Oh yeah. So we'll see what he comes back with, because this should be pretty killer.
He's usually with us on Instagram on Thursday nights. I don't know if he is tonight or not, but
Well, I don't know if I've successfully set up Instagram part. I guess we'll find out, huh? So, well, with that, we are actually over. Even with all the blinking, the iconic blinking of Ben. But anyone who watches this, thank you for joining us. Go ahead and toss any questions you might have or commentary into whatever comments section you're watching us with. And we look forward to seeing you